What's up, people? Ras Satyat here in Singapore, and as always, thank you so much for joining me on the Night Owl podcast. You guys, this is something that's been a labor of love for almost 5 years now, and I am so excited because I feel like I've pretty much said everything, but sometimes I get into a situation where I find a new spin on an old concept, or somebody who was able to, describe something with very distinct imagery that I understood something even better than I did before. So, in that regard, I want to talk about what it means to be a fake person. People are real quick to judge each other and to label each other as fake or, pretending too much, putting on a false mask, appearing different in front of certain people, whereas you know better because you know them on a different level. But I want to challenge that a little bit because me, myself, and I act differently in front of some people, and it's not because I'm fake. It's because I have a different comfort zone around certain people. So when I say that I have a different comfort zone, it just means that I've learned through a process of, trial and error, that some things can be said around you and some things can't. I can joke around, I can use dark humor in front of some people, and some people I cannot. Okay, they know that I don't mean anything by it. They know it's all in fun. It's meant to make people laugh, but it's not meant to offend anyone. There are some situations where I can't point out the other person's mistakes, which means I can't be honest even if they're looking for feedback, because I've tried that before and they jumped down my throat because they thought that I was attacking their character when I was just telling them to maybe adjust their grammar or to, change the angle of their camera so it looks a little bit different. So in that regard, I think that all of us have the capacity to be, and I do have air quotes going, fake, right? You're not being all of yourself. There are very few people in your life, if you're very, very, very honest with yourself, very few people in your life that you can just be yourself around, which means you come in the door, you hang up your superhero cape or all that politeness that you have to put on to make sure that, the rest of the world understands who you are. You drop all of that at the door. You come throw on sweatpants and sit on the couch, throw your hair in a bun, put on an ugly mask or whatever, as in like clay or, I don't know, charcoal, whatever it is. You put on something just like, not glam for a moment, and you just be. You laugh hideously, you snort, you fart, you pick your nose, whatever. You get to be yourself. But there are very few places on this earth, I am guessing, that you can do all of that in. A lot of times for us, it's the bathroom, right? When we're washing ourselves, we get to do it however the hell we want. We don't have to be sexy about it. We don't have to, make sure that it always smells good. We don't care. We get to be ourselves, our naked selves, in the bathroom. In my house, in front of my kid, she knows. I don't care if I run around the house in my underwear. I feel comfortable enough where I'm not judged. I don't have to watch my words. I don't have to worry about, if you're going to judge me for singing off key or acting stupid or childish for a moment, because this is my safe space, right? But when you step out of that door, depending on the people that you're around, you have to act a certain way in order to avoid pain. And unfortunately, yes, that is how we live to this day, right? We try to avoid pain. In front of your parents' generation, you probably want to be on your P's and Q's, say your please and thank yous, make sure that you're as polite as you possibly can be, and you take into account the fact that, your elders demand respect, not even deserve it, demand respect, and so you have to act in accordance. Maybe you're with your friends, right? And you have a certain group of friends where you can be thuggish, ruggish, bone around, and a certain group of friends that you have to be, very frilly and pretty and dressed to the nines with eyelashes and false hair and fake nails and all of that stuff. But very rarely can you get all those groups of people in the same room together and you get to be yourself. You still have to put on a face as you go from person to person and say hello, how are you, thank you for coming, or whatever, and you are a different version of yourself every time. That isn't to say that you're being fake, though. You're showing them different sides of yourself. I know for a fact that if I were to hang out with my temple crew, right, even though they are accepting and they're inclusive and everything, if I were to hang out with the temple crew, that means that their parents are around and I still gotta behave myself. I can't say anything I feel like. I gotta watch my vocabulary. I can't curse like I usually do, right? If I was in front of my ex-husband, we would curse and he would curse and we would listen to all kinds of music, and it's cool because it's accepted. It is the norm for them. If I was with my Asian family, I gotta watch the way I speak. I usually speak with a little bit of an accent because that's the way we speak at home, right? And it's a mix of Tamil and English, so it's not perfect. It's not grammatically correct, but we get the word across and we figure it out. If I was in front of my ex-husband's family, which is a blended family because he has 2 kids by 2 different baby mamas, and sometimes we do all get together, and we got to be able to, talk in such a way that everybody feels included. And even though I'm not from the culture, I got to be able to blend in. So if you know what I mean, You don't get to be your absolute self in front of everybody. Some people don't get that. It's not because you're fake, it's because you have a different comfort zone around certain people. Some people you can talk about intellectual stuff with, right? You can talk about the spirit, and you can talk about law of attraction and human design and clearing chakras and solfeggio tones and all that stuff, and you can go on and on forever. But at some point, right, if you were to go from that group to a different group, you may not be able to talk about that stuff because they may be more concerned with sports. They may be concerned with, weightlifting and proper deep squat form and I don't know, hip flexion. It could be anything, but the point being that these two people have two different types of interests, and because you like both of them, you can't be all of yourself in one place and all of yourself in another until you find the kinds of people that are really able to blend all of those subjects together and have a deep conversation about life in general. So if you get my meaning, it's not a bad thing that you have so many different aspects of yourself. It actually makes you multifaceted. It makes you a very marketable person in some regards, because if you're in customer service, it means that no matter who you talk to, you can find something that y'all have in common that you can bond over and help the person solve their problems. But not everyone's like that. Some people are very, very quiet. They don't feel the need to be able to socialize with humans in person. They don't mind doing it via chat. They don't mind doing it on a phone sometimes. They very rarely get on a video chat. But the point being that they have a specific level of comfort with certain people. It's the reason that gaming has become so popular, because a lot of the introverted people feel like they can don a different persona, because on screen you look different than you do in real life, and you get to speak any kind of way. You can pretend to be whatever you want to pretend to be, and people take you at face value, and you get a chance to express yourself in a way you may never have a chance to in person in real life. So in this context, right, I don't believe in fake people. I believe in people being comfortable to a certain extent in front of certain circles, and then they have to switch gears sometimes to be able to fit in with a different group, which is why a lot of times we really, really, really desperately hope that when we come home at night, right, when we get in that door, we're able to drop all of those things, right, and put away all of the PC and the appropriate conversations and the intellectual part of you and the artistic part of you and the sporty side of you and the gang society. All of that can go in a corner somewhere, and you can just be and just hang and just sit and really, really chill, because ultimately you want one place where you can be yourself in order to replenish and refresh yourself from the day's activities and all the interactions and all the expectations and conversations that you run into on a daily basis. So I hope this kind of makes sense. I would love to know your thoughts on this, actually. Do you fall into the category of you need a place to get away? You fall into the category of you've found your people and you have your tribe and you know that you can hang with them as you are all the time? Or are you still searching? Because, I mean, life is an ongoing journey all the way until, you step into your grave, basically. So I would love to know where you're at in your journey. I would love to know your thoughts and experiences with this concept, and let me know what you think about fake people, because I don't believe it anymore. Once upon a time, yeah, I did, but I really don't believe it anymore. So I hope this helped you. I hope this gave you something to think about, and I will catch you on the next podcast. Bye.